Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 3, I believe, of Let's Try Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Very cool RPG thus far. Let's see if I have the audio correct for the first time. Hope you guys are well, by the way, and excited to check us out here. Okay, audio's good. Let's get back into character. Jen. Custom character. We're just going to pick a portrait for now. We'll revise it when the time comes, and let's continue looking at the classes. So we are going to continue doing that today. We left off at, oh man, we're all the way down to Paladin. We looked at Oracle. We ended on Wind Whisperer. So let's start with Paladin, get right into it. So 2-star difficulty. Wait. Okay. Lots of melee, bit of range and defense, and even some magic and support. 2-star difficulty. Paladins are fighting evil on the front lines. They are good at destroying especially powerfully evil creatures. As they advance, they gain access to a small number of basic divine spells, focusing mostly on healing and empowering themselves and their allies. A paladin must have a lawful good alignment or they will lose most of their powers. Got a divine guardian. The divine guardian devotes herself to the protection and guardianship of one creature at a time, be that her liege lord, an allied cleric, or an innocent facing overwhelming danger at the hands of evil. The divine guardian devotes herself to the concerns of the material world. Eschewing some divine studies, she does not gain access to divine spellcasting. Why do I feel like we did this? Tortured Crusader. Did we do this? And then Ranger, Stormwalker. Yeah, I think we did this. Nomad. We did Rogue. Okay, wait a minute. We did Shaman. Did we do Shifter? Wild Effigy. Yeah, we didn't. We stopped at Scald. So I'm sorry, guys. Let's start at Scald. Bunch of melee, quite a bit of support, and some magic. 3-star difficulty. Scald is a combination of a furious fighter and an empowering ally. They usually fight in melee, can employ a limited number of spells, can heal and empower their party members. Their songs inspire battle rage in their teammates, making those that fight with weapons stronger. So we've got a Battle Scion, possesses a unique mix of courtly grace alongside martial and magical prowess. She is a warrior poet, as skilled with her words as she is with blades. Battle Scions sometimes rule as queens over courts of brave knights who scour the world championing bold quests. Battle Singer. Songs are powerful enough to damage enemies with the sheer power of their vocal cords. Cool. Court Poet. Many courts are places of artistic refinement, attracting those performers who wish to revel in an aristocratic art scene. Such artists may aim to become a darling of the court, focusing on the aesthetic requirements of a particular tradition, as well as learning details about that court's history and culture. Court poets elevate the Scald's love of history and poetry to an aristocratic ideal, captivating courts with complicated poetic traditions and inspiring others with their craft. Some court poets go on to create their own works, weaving their magic and force of personality into their unique performances. Sounds pretty cool. Demon Dancer. While the twisted power of the demon-worshipping Scalds is great, it comes at a terrible price. Herald of the Horn. Even the loudest voice can oftentimes be drowned out by the din of battle, whether with the polished metal trumpet of a standing army or the crude curved animal horn of savage raiders. A herald of the horn sounds his raging song with thunderous blasts which can bolster allies or shatter castle walls. Hunt callers are skalds whose songs draw their allies into the animal world. Whoa. They can invoke the inner beasts of those who observe their supernatural performances, a talent that causes many to mistake the hunt caller and her allies for lycanthropes or other shape-shifting creatures. That is pretty wild. And finally, Insider. A liar and manipulator, an insider uses his abilities to provoke and direct the crowd. A master of influencing the mind, he can easily turn a cheerful holiday into an ugly fight, readily supporting the combatants with shouts of encouragement. Oh boy. That sounds fun, if nothing else. Slayer. Oh my gosh. Tons of melee, tons of ranged, and that's about it. 1-star difficulty. Slayers can fight both in melee and ranged combat. Their main role is dealing large amounts of damage to enemies. However, their defense is rather weak. Arcane Enforcer. Some Slayers study the arcane knowledge to learn new efficient ways of hunting their targets. They are known as Arcane Enforcers. Bloodseeker. Awakened to a profane birthright passed down in his blood, a Bloodseeker wields preternatural gifts from an unholy progenitor. With immortal vigor flowing through his veins, this ruthless hunter achieves feats no mere mortal could hope to match. His senses are sharpened to a razor's edge, his strength and speed well beyond human limits. That sounds very cool, but you must be either evil. Yeah, any evil, actually. That's it. Deliverer. Also known as a divine assassin, God's blade, or wrathbringer. A deliverer is a weapon chosen by God to punish those who have committed an affront to that deity. Evil deities are more likely to use assassins than deliverers, but some good deities use deliverers to deal with problems of a subtler nature than a cleric, inquisitor, paladin, or war priest can typically handle. Executioner. These professional killers are trained and used almost exclusively by crime families. Streetwise and ruthless, they operate independently, often making their talents available to the highest bidder. Though a few unscrupulous executioners exploit this arrangement and force families to pay higher rates for their services, most of these assassins follow a strict personal code and maintain absolute transparency with their employers. Imitator. Must be human. The human race is renowned for its quick learning curve and love of taking the best from others. Imitators are geniuses with the ability to memorize and copy fighting styles. While others spend their lives perfecting one technique, imitators are already using a few successfully. In combat, they instantly adapt to the flow of battle, choosing the most appropriate martial style and often improvise, confusing their enemies. That sounds really cool too. Spawn Slayer. Generations of warriors hold the line against impossible odds. Some of their ancient techniques persist to this day. Very cool. Stygian Slayer. A Stygian Slayer crawls out of the darkest shadows to strike fear into the hearts of civilized folk. He's a merciless killer who can control a sliver of magic, allowing him to arrive unseen, commit murder, and depart without detection. And then finally, Vanguards are battlefield commanders who focus on the brutality of combat and lead their allies to bloody victory. Quick to react to danger, a Vanguard is a valuable scout, capable officer, and skilled tactician. Alright, we are almost done here, guys. Well, we've still got, the prestige classes or whatever you call them. And then we have Sorcerer. Tons of magic. Bit of support, bit of ranged, and that's about it. 3-star difficulty. Sorcerers are powerful arcane spellcasters, very effective in combat. Unlike the other arcane spellcasters, they can use a limited array of spells, which makes them less flexible in various situations. However, they can cast more spells before they need a rest. Cross-blooded. A cross-blooded bloodline combines the powers of two distinct heritages. In most cases, sorcerers with this bloodline are the offspring of two sorcerers from different ancestries, but occasionally a cross-blooded sorcerer arises from the conjunction of other powers. a draconic sorcerer who is also the culmination of a great destiny, an abyssal sorcerer from a family that deals with devils, and an arcane sorcerer raised from birth by Fae are all possible sources for cross-blooded bloodlines. They get a secondary bloodline, but reduced spellbook, amongst other things. Imperial sorcerer, your heavenly power derives from insight rather than force of personality. Geomancer, these are the sorcerers who draw power from the land around them by attuning their magic to match its mystical properties. These geomancers can spill their own blood on the ground at their feet to gain special benefits. Nine-tailed heir requires kitsune, which looks to be a fox people. Oh, got the tail and everything. Stories often tell of kitsune with multiple tails, but not many realize that fewer than one kitsune in every 1,000 has this potential, and those that do usually have a magical quirk in their blood or have been blessed by their race's deific matron. As a result, most that harness the mystic powers of their newfound tails often gain sorcerer's powers, becoming nine-tailed heirs. That is pretty wild. Doesn't look like a second tail, but maybe if you select the class, you will get that. Overwhelming mage. Innate magical powers are always a tempting phenomenon, and many people are content with the extent of their powers, but overwhelming mages strive to improve the sheer capacity of their powers. Hit my water bottle, guys. Alright. Sage sorcerer, your magic comes from the knowledge and traditions that your bloodline accumulated through the generations, not just from force of personality. You use your intelligence rather than your charisma to determine all class features and effects relating to your sorcerer class, such as bonus spells per day, the maximum spell level you can cast, the save DCs of your spells, and the number of daily uses of your bloodline powers. Interesting. Then we've got Seeker. Sorcerers gain their magical powers through strange and mysterious ways. While most might be content with their strange powers, some adventure far and wide in search of a greater understanding of the genesis and history of their eldritch talents. These spellcasters are known as Seekers, after their obsession with researching ancient texts and obscure ruins for any clues they can find about their heritage and histories. Could have sworn we saw the Seeker in some other class. Huh. Then we've got a Sylvan Sorcerer. Your ties to nature have more to do with creatures than with capriciousness. Alright, that's the Sorcerer class. 3 more main base classes left. War Priest. Pretty good melee, pretty good magic and support, and even a bit of defense. 4-star difficulty though. War Priests apply both cold weapons and a vast array of sacred spells. They are effective in both offense and defense, can heal and empower allies, and have an ability to channel energy to heal or damage multiple targets. Champion of the Faith. Can't be an atheist. Champions of the Faith are crusaders who use the power of their divine patron to annihilate the Faith's enemies. Wow, cult leader. Referred to as fanatics, lunatics, or obsessives, cultists see themselves as genuine devotees of their deity, and the hierarchs of those devotees, the cult leaders, are the most fanatical of them all. Cult leaders are known for turning reasonable hearts towards corrupted teachings and striking at those that get in the way of their agenda. Sounds about right. Pretty wild that you can be one, though. Disenchanter. While many war priests focus on threats to the body, the disenchanter focuses on dangers to the mind and the soul. Using the power of his patron, the disenchanter seeks to keep the powers of magic in check. Sort of like a Wizard Slayer type deal. Whoa, Feral Champion. Lots of prerequisites. When a war priest devotes himself to a god of the natural world, he is sometimes blessed with supernatural powers that allow him to evoke animalistic power and fury. Mantis Zealot. The arrival of the Mantis Zealot does not bode well for both offenders and innocents, for his true goals are known only to his deity. Doesn't have a deity selection, interestingly enough. Proclaimer. A proclaimer rushes into abyss-twisted wastes with nothing but its weapon in his hand and its faith in his heart, shouting his deity's name to the skies. Most proclaimers don't survive their first day in a hostile environment, but those who do become the stuff of legend, bolstering the spirits of crusaders near and far. And finally, Shield Bearer. Shield Bearers are divine warriors who stand on the front lines of battle, shoulder to shoulder with the soldiers of their people. And of course, being a war priest at heart. Two more. Next, we've got Witch, a whole bunch of magic and support, and even quite a bit of control, and a little bit of ranged. 4-star difficulty, though. Witches are potent arcane spellcasters who can employ the strongest spells. They are especially good at controlling and weakening the enemies, both with spells and unique magic abilities called hexes. Witches can also heal and empower their allies, though less effectively than some other classes. This is a difficult class to play for a newcomer. Elemental Witch. Witches sometimes dive deep into elemental energies, allowing to evoke destructive powers upon their enemies. Hag of Garona. Can't be evil. Well, you can be lawful evil. Or chaotic neutral. Can't be. Witches who dedicate themselves to the angry hag are feared for their ability to bend minds and sow discord. Some say these witches can watch their enemies from afar and can even corrupt the minds of the most innocent or loyal, including newborn babes and cherished pets. Hagbound, whether a changeling in the process of succumbing to her mother's call, a witch cursed by a hag to become her instrument of torment, a vain and petty witch overeager for power, or some other unfortunate soul, a hagbound witch finds its soul has been infected by a hag's spite and powerful corrupt arcane magic. Her mind and body begin to transform to reflect her new being. Hagbound witches suffer a slow transformative taint that is similar to the accursed corruption and make ideal candidates for this additional power and tragedy. Interesting. Hex Channeler. A Hex Channeler is a witch who devotes herself to either life, healing the wounded and destroying the undead, or death, slaying the living and aiding undead. Leyline Guardian. Some witches tap into the power of their patrons not through a special connection with a familiar, but rather directly through the vast network of ley lines that crosses the planes. These witches can harness the latent powers of ley lines without even needing to be near one of the points where ley lines' powers are accessible to mortal spellcasters. Stigmatized Witch. Some witches think of their magic not as a gift but as a curse. Her body is tarnished with a mark of her ill fate. Maybe the patron of such a witch was cruel and decided that power mustn't come cheap, or maybe they mercifully helped the witch to turn the adversities that befell her into a source of new strength. A stigmatized witch relies on intuition. Her magic is based not on the sharpness of her wit, but on the strength of her character. Instead of the regular powers gained by a patron, such a witch gets a curse like an oracle, and she casts her spells spontaneously like a sorcerer rather than a wizard. So all sorts of modifiers going on there. And finally, Witch of the Veil. Secrets, mysteries, and shrouds are the ever-changing backbone of the Witch of the Veil. She always strives to discover new arcane knowledge in this universe while guarding the secrecy of this knowledge. And finally, guys, Wizard has 8 varieties, and they are 4-star difficulty. Tons of magic, bit of support, a little bit control, a little bit ranged as well. Wizards are powerful arcane spellcasters. They have a large array of different spells, which makes them useful in different situations. They can destroy or weaken their enemies or empower their allies. However, this versatility has its downside. The number of spells a wizard can cast per day is not very large. Arcane Bomber. To many wizards, the experimentation of the alchemical seems quaint, if not dangerous or frightening. A few wizards take up the secrets of the bomb, however, fusing alchemy with their already considerable magic power. Caruromancer. Must be a Dampier. To those who know how to manipulate it, the blood of a Dampier can be a powerful component to magic. A Caruromancer infuses his necromantic magic with the power of his unique mixture of living blood and undead ichor. As his power increases in this strange arcane art, a Caruromancer finds potent ways to infuse his unique blood with necromancy spells. Elemental Specialist. Wizards sometimes specialize in utilizing one element, converting other elements into their own. Exploiter Wizard. Contrary to traditional wizardly study, an exploiter wizard forgoes the tried and true methods of arcane focus and arcane schools for the exploits favored by an arcanist. Some wizards regard this blatant exploitation of arcane magic as somehow cheating, but most exploiters believe this prejudice is closed-minded and overly traditional. Scroll Savant. Some wizards consider scrolls a natural extension of their magical abilities. Shadowcaster. Shadowcasters wield the dark powers of the shadow plane to achieve their ends. These masters of illusions can control shadows, summon shadow creatures, and induce fear in their foes, though this darkness has corrupted many a heedless wizard. Spellmaster. Usually wizards specialize in a magic school, delivering greater impact in a focused manner, but spellmasters try to make their expertise as broad as possible. And finally, Thessalonian Specialist. While the concept of wizard specializations along the classically recognized schools of magic certainly dates back to the time of Aslan, and perhaps beyond into the dim recesses of time before humanity rose to prominence, it was the rune lords of Thassalan who explored school specialization to its full extreme, focusing their research on the discovery that each school of magic was opposed by two specific opposition schools. The Rune Lords developed methods of further enhancing their mastery over their chosen arcane specialties. Essentially, they defined these 7 schools as much by what they couldn't do as by what they could. By excising impurities introduced by fixed oppositional schools, they traded arcane versatility for greater strength in their chosen field. Very cool. And I guess we'll look at these handful or so of advanced classes. So these have greater prerequisites. As you can see, you need actual different feats and stuff like that. You have to plan these out. The Sword Lords follow no singular path to dueling mastery. Some of those who take up the blade not only dabble in its use, while others explore swordplay with the dueling weapon in unconventional ways. That's an Aldori Sword Lord. Arcane Trickster. With their mastery of magic, arcane tricksters can make for even more subtle or confounding opponents than standard rogues. Ranged legerdemain enhances their skill as thieves, and their ability to make sneak attacks without flanking or as part of a spell can make arcane tricksters formidable damage dealers. Assassin, a mercenary undertaking his task with cold professional detachment. The assassin is equally adept at espionage, bounty hunting, and terrorism. At his core, an assassin is an artisan of his medium is death. Trained in a variety of killing techniques, assassins are among the most feared classes. Dragon Disciple. With the magic of a spellcasting class at their disposal, Dragon Disciples can assume the typical role of a magic user, hampering the movement of the enemy and hurling damage-dealing spells at their opponents. Dragon Disciples' draconic abilities, however, make these versatile spellcasters even more formidable, as they use their breath weapons and flight to destroy their foes directly. Wow. Duelist. The abilities of duelists complement those rogues or bards who wish to accentuate their fighting prowess, but, because of their lack of heavy armor, are afraid to leap into combat. Duelists fight in the forefront alongside fighters, barbarians, and other melee combatants, deftly avoiding the blades of their opponents while expertly targeting their vulnerabilities. Very cool. Eldritch Knight. Eldritch Knights blend the abilities of fighting classes and spellcasters, hurling magic at the enemy one moment and hewing down their opponents with steel the next. They are just as comfortable fighting in the thick of combat as they are casting spells at foes, while remaining safely behind their compatriots. Their versatility makes them valuable allies when the nature of an upcoming battle is unclear. Hell Knight, so you can actually be a Hell Knight. Interesting. Not all who start as novice armigers have what it takes to become a full-fledged Hell Knight, but those who do receive a wide array of abilities as they grow more powerful. While the individual powers and focus of a particular Hell Knight vary according to his order, all Hell Knights are universally feared and respected in regions where they maintain a presence. Most Hell Knights are lawful neutral and proudly avoid being tainted by distractions such as good or evil, but some who rise in power shift toward tyrannical and cruel natures. Hell Knight Signifer. Hell Knight Signifers form the spellcasting arm of the Hell Knight orders. They serve as faceless enforcers of order and use their magical powers to relentlessly root out and punish criminals to the letter of the law. They wear masks, often featureless, to mark themselves as impersonal agents of order, unswayed by empathy, detached from emotion, and dedicated to passing impartial judgment upon all lawbreakers. A Signifer's distinctive mask is a symbol of his devotion to the precepts of law and exacting justice, and it serves as the focus for several of his Signifer powers. Traditionally, Signifers use arcane or divine spellcasters, A Lore Master. The Lore Master is a gatherer and keeper of secrets. He is often obsessed by the written word, with cryptic and arcane lore serving as his devoted mistress. Holding to the adage that knowledge is power, the Lore Master often forsakes material wealth and personal glory for rare or unusual information, an endless quest that brings him ever closer to his unattainable goal, perfection through edification. Often rejecting what he views as the pointless affectations and transitory pleasures of his short-sighted neighbors, the Lore Master believes that the only worthwhile goal in life is the acquisition of intellectual might. After all, wealth is spent, passions fade, and the power of the body is limited by age, while the mind's capacity to grow greater with time is infinite. That is interesting. Okay, Mystic Theurge. Mystic Theurges place no boundaries on their magical abilities and find no irreconcilable paradox in devotion to the arcane as well as the divine. They seek magic in all of its forms, finding no reason or logic in denying themselves instruction by limiting their knowledge to one stifling paradigm, though many are simply hungry for limitless power. The Mystic Theurge is a powerful component for any party, supplying magic for attack, defense, and healing. Mystic Theurges travel the world in search of arcane and holy artifacts, magical lore, or divine revelations, and most have no qualms about teaming up with groups of adventurers, so long as that group's goals do not directly conflict with their own. Wow, we're in the very home stretch here. 3 more, guys. Stalwart Defender. Masters of melee combat, striving to prove that the best offense is a good defense. Stalwart Defenders are normally found on the front lines of battle, holding a position to cover their allies, leaping into breaches of opposing formations and holding them open for others, and guarding more vulnerable allies by acting as mobile fortifications, stable points in the ever-changing chaos of battle. Very useful. Student of War. The path of the Student of War is particularly enticing to martially minded characters who seek to enhance and expand their mastery of skills. Students of war often pride themselves in studying topics that combat-focused types might not normally find value in, and their ability to draw upon unexpected lore and information has become something of a legend among their kind. And finally, guys, Winter Witch. The otherworldly powers of Winter Witches are inextricably linked with the frozen Outer Realms. So those are all the choices, guys. And I have no idea what we're going to be. We are 30 minutes in, so just about finished up here, but let's see. I have no clue. Now that we know them all, Druids are pretty interesting, but they don't get enough melee. They get a lot of magic. Cavaliers don't get any magic. Blood Ragers. I could go Bard Archaeologist again, but that's how my Kingmaker LP went. Shalaxian Diva's pretty interesting. The famous Divas. Let's see. Azori Defender, Armiger. Titan Fighter, that's pretty cool. Use enormous weapons others can barely lift. Very straightforward and kind of plain, but still very cool. Forester. Urban Hunter is cool. Inquisitors are a little too hardcore for me. Magus, these are 5-star difficulties, but Armored Battle Mage is cool. Even Arcane Rider. They get a lot of melee. And almost full magic too. Sword Say is cool. Monks. Soheis are cool. Drunken Master is cool. Oracles are cool. Powerful divine spellcasters. They have no melee or pretty much offense at all. It's pretty cool. Let's take a closer look at Enlightened Philosopher. They get a mystery. Each oracle draws upon a divine mystery to grant her spells and powers. This mystery also grants additional class skills and other special abilities. The mystery can represent a devotion to one ideal, prayers to deities that support the concept, or a natural calling to champion a cause. Regardless of its source, the mystery manifests in a number of ways. As the oracle gains levels, an oracle must pick one mystery upon taking her first level of oracle. Once made, the choice cannot be changed. At second level and every 2 levels thereafter, an oracle learns an additional spell derived from her mystery. Skill-focused knowledge of the world. Get a +3 bonus in all checks involving knowledge of the world. And if you have 10 or more ranks in knowledge of the world, the bonus increases to +6. Revelation at first level, 3rd level, and every 4 levels thereafter, 7th, 11th, and so on. An oracle uncovers a new secret about her mystery that grants her powers and abilities. The oracle must select a revelation from the list of revelations available to her mystery. If a revelation is chosen at a later level, the oracle gains all of the abilities and bonuses granted by that revelation based on her current level. Unless otherwise noted, activating the power of a revelation is a standard action. Unless otherwise noted, the DC to save against these revelations is equal to 10 plus half the Oracle's level, plus the Oracle's Charisma modifier, so they use Charisma. A second mystery, I guess, is removed, and a second revelation. Oracle's Curse. Each Oracle is cursed, but this curse comes with a benefit as well as a hindrance. This choice is made at first level, and once made, it cannot be changed. The Oracle's Curse cannot be removed or dispelled without the aid of a deity. An Oracle's Curse is based on her Oracle level plus 1 for every 2 levels of hit or hit dice other than Oracle. Oracle proficiencies, light armor, medium armor, shield, and simple weapons. No tower shields and additional spells. In addition to the spells gained by oracles as they gain levels, each oracle also adds all of either the cure spells or the inflict spells to her list of spells known. Cure spells include all spells with cure in the name. Inflict spells include all spells with inflict in the name. These spells are added as soon as the oracle is capable of casting them. This choice is made when the oracle gains her first level. They cannot be changed. So then at level 3 we get a revelation. Mental acuity. Your explorations into the secret mysteries of the world have granted you a preternatural understanding of all things, and you just keep getting smarter. You gain plus 1 inherent bonus to intelligence upon taking this revelation, and another at every 3rd oracle level gain thereafter. So you keep going with revelations, mental acuity, then a final revelation. You would get 2 of them, but 1 is removed. Upon achieving 20th level, you achieve true enlightenment and become one with the universe. You receive a bonus on all saving throws equal to your charisma modifier. You become immune to confusion, exhaustion, fatigue, nausea, and sickened effects. You can take 20 on all knowledge skill checks. Once per day, should you die, 1 round after dying, you are reborn as a living example of the summoning of your chosen philosophy. Wow. Your body reforms with all your equipment, and you return to life with maximum hit points. Oh my gosh. That's once per day. That is very cool, though. So I haven't really played like something with absolutely no melee like that. Paladins. Stone Lord. Be a dwarven paladin. A martyr. Hospitaller. Okay, so there's different range. I'm gonna hit the water bottle, guys. Nomad. Have a horses and bows. Sable Company Marine. Rides a hippogriff. That's very cool. Oh, we never did check the features and abilities of the base classes. Oh well. You guys can look that up, I guess, in the game if you want. At first level, a Sable Company Marine gains a hippogriff as a mount instead of choosing the Hunter's Bond class feature at 4th level. This ability functions like the Druid's Animal Companion ability, and the Marine's effective Druid level is equal to his Ranger level. While the Sable Company Marine is mounted, he also attacks the target of the Hippogriff's flying attack. As a full round action, ranged attacks made in this way do not provoke attacks of opportunity. The target is considered flat-footed against the Sable Company Marine's first attack, made as part of the flying attack. Loses favorite enemy though. Gains it back at level 3. The strongest wings. At 3rd level, a Sable Company Marine teaches his mount to perform a new combat maneuver. As a standard action, the Hippogriff can create 2 strong gusts of air with its wings and perform a bull rush combat maneuver twice, with a bonus to CMB equal to half its level against targets in a 30-foot cone. If any of these combat maneuvers are successful, the affected targets become flat-footed against the next attack. Nice. Anyway, rogues are always fun. Thug, underground chemist. Sylvan trickster sounds pretty cool. Master of all have to be half-elves. Huh. Eldritch Scoundrel sounds cool. They get cantrips, proficient with all simple weapons, plus the rapier, short sword, and short bow. An Eldritch Scoundrel is not proficient with any armor or shields. Armor sometimes interferes with an Eldritch Scoundrel's gestures, which can cause her spells with somatic components to fail. She can scribe scrolls, but does not get the rogue proficiencies of light armor or simple weapon. Oh, I guess they do. Sneak attack, weapon finesse, trap finding, evasion. So evasion would be really useful if they can't wear metal armor. Shamans, shifter. A martially inclined shapeshifter. Faithful and feed flesh, wear touch, man. A scald. Huh. A court poet. Insightful contemplation. Affected allies gain +2 morale bonus to intelligence and charisma, and +1 morale bonus on will saving throws, but they take a -1 penalty to AC. At 4th level and every 4 scald levels thereafter, this song's bonus on will saves increases by 1. Penalties to AC doesn't change. At 8th and 16th level, the bonuses to intelligence and charisma increase by 2. Unlike the barbarian's rage ability, those affected are not fatigued after the song ends. Slayer, 1 star. Sorcerer is another interesting spellcaster. Can be the famous Nine-Tailed Heir. Or Geomancer. They apply cold weapons. I see sacred weapons, blessings. Disenchanter. Witch wizard, Duelist is very cool. You have to be like level 5 or 6 at least to get that. For base attack bonus has to be 6. Yeah, I really have no idea after reading all of them what we're going to be. So the premise of the game is essentially that we're going to join up with the army basically and fight against demons. Armored Hulk is really interesting. Heavy armor barbarian. Diva, archaeologist. Archaeologist is pretty basic. Instead of inspirational performances, you get a smattering of rogue talents. Like I said, we played the first Kingmaker using that class. Tranquil Whisper. Blood Rager. They use rage to increase their power in melee fights. Plus use basic set of arcane spells to empower themselves. They get a bloodline. Either dragons, fae, devils, etc. Gives them a number of spells, feats, and unique abilities to choose from, and allows them to specialize in a particular style of combat. Uncanny dodge. Allows the character to react to danger faster than others. Thanks to it, they can evade the penalties of their armor class in some situations and become immune to some of the enemy's tactical advantages. Blood Rage. This ability temporarily increases the attack power, health, and ability to resist hostile control, but also decreases defense. After the rage ends, the character gets fatigued and becomes weaker for a short time. Blood Rager. Gets fast movement at level 1. Gets Blood Rage. We'd have to look into that. Blood Rager proficiencies. Blood Sanctuary at level 3. Due to the power of his blood, a Blood Rager can stand confidently amid the effects of spells cast by himself or his allies. Gains a +2 bonus on saving throws against spells that he or an ally casts. And then damage reduction, greater Blood Rage, Indomitable Will, more damage reduction, and more upgrades to the Blood Rage. And the Bloodline is a whole thing. Wow, look at all the choices. Celestial, Arcane, and they all come with different things. Wow. Yeah, like I said, guys, this is a massive undertaking to LT. We're 48 minutes in, so we've got to wrap it up, but at least we made it through all the classes. And like I said, I really have no clue what we're going to be. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you made it this far, I appreciate y'all. Having fun spending some time together, playing a massive CRPG that it's really too big to reasonably let's try or let's play, but we're going for it. So next episode, I might just skip ahead to race, stuff like that. And then we'll come back to which class we want to be. I'm not sure. Or I'll just think about it off camera. But anyway, thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed. If you are enjoying the Let's Try so far, guys, and you'd like to see more, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment. That just lets me know that you want to see more, and more will get made. So more is getting made anyway because I'm interested in making more, but yeah. If you're new here, I invite you to subscribe. Feel free to hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss any uploads. But that said, guys, all those are just suggestions, not commands, so do what y'all will. It's all good. And yeah, we'll continue poring over choices next time, see what we want to be, and maybe go through some classes, like go through and set the different things and see what they end up looking like, just to kind of get an idea of what, what your base character is going to look like after they get their feats and their racial heritage and all that stuff. So, and their race as well. We'll see. So, hope you'll join me for that, guys. Do come back. Much more fun to be had with this awesome, awesome game. And I would continue Kingmaker, guys, and try to finish that as I got pretty far in it. But I had more footage that was never uploaded that ended up getting deleted. I don't think I have access to any of that anymore. And it was like quite a few episodes that I never got to upload that I had already recorded. So that's kind of a bummer. But also, I don't think we have my save works anymore for that game. Like, there's been many updates, and I don't know. I probably messed something up on my end, but I don't think the save works. So, unfortunately, I can't, return to that apparently. But maybe in the future we'll do a new run. But anyway, guys, I hope you'll join me for Wrath next time. And until then, guys, be well, live well, stay well, and much love, peace, and joy from me and this manatee to you. And I hope to see you guys next time. Ciao for now, and peace out.